Oh my god. The Human Torch. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. Oh my god, did I turn the sound up? I think I turned the sound up. What's up, everybody? What are you doing? Oh my god, we gotta wait for the thing to load. It's gotta load. There it goes. It loaded. Okay, we were waiting for it to load, and then it loaded, and it happened, and all the things. What's up? What's up, everybody? How you doing? If I get too close to the mic, is it too loud? Is this too loud for you? I don't know. I changed the audio again. I moved a bunch of stuff around. Was that the right call to move a bunch of stuff around? I don't know, but it is what it is. It's making me want to go back to work and get shit done, but my body is done for the day. Oh, the music's making you hot and sweaty? Oh, okay. Don't go back. If you're done for the day, don't go back. No reason to go back to work after the work is done. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go back. Don't go back. Don't go back. No reason. If the work's done, there ain't no reason. You ever had a dog that eats your charging cords? Our new dog likes to eat cell phone charging cords. And it's annoying. It's annoying as all get out. And so I have to get out another one. Because I forgot to put it away yesterday when we left for the Super Bowl. We went to gymnastics and then we went to the Super Bowl. And dog ate the cord. Dog ate the end of the cord. Guaranteed short. My cat used to love cords. Damn string lovers. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to have a dog that wants to chew them up, but it is what it is. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. It's the cats that eat the USB cords here. The cats. Sorry, I got a thing going on my phone. Did everybody watch the Super Bowl yesterday? Because I watched the Super Bowl yesterday, and pretty much what I thought was going to happen happened. I really didn't think that it would be the super dominant win in that way. I didn't think it was going to be that super dominant win in that way. I assumed that if you had put money on the Eagles, you were probably going to win it, unless you had done some kind of crazy money line thing. Unless you'd done something bonkers, I would assume that you would have won money on the Eagles winning. That would have been my assumption going into the game yesterday, especially because last week I did take a little bit of time to sort of review the some of the Kansas City Chiefs wins, as it were. And I thought it was kind of illuminating that they were unable to win against like the Raiders twice in a convincing way. I believe like both of their wins were like a squeaker 2-point missed field goal type situation. And I thought it was kind of funny. I thought it was kind of funny that, like, just how bold the Kansas City fans were being about, like, it's a three-peat, it's locked, it's blah blah blah, it's this, it's that, and I thought that was a little bit. What's the word? I guess bold is correct. I guess bold's a good word. Needless to say, they did lose. Kansas City did lose convincingly. What was the final score? 37 or something to 6? I don't know. Was that the final? Why does it keep doing this? It keeps setting it to like less than full screen. Oh, Kansas City scored a couple of last minute nonsensical points. Yeah, that's right, because they scored that touchdown right there, and then I guess they got a 2-point conversion and then a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Is that what happened? 16, yeah. So I didn't watch the last 5 minutes because there was the last, I don't know, 8 minutes or whatever, because it was like, dude, this game is over. Statistically speaking, I don't think there would have been a comeback ever that big for any game. I don't know. Maybe there is one. What's the biggest? Minnesota Vikings set a new record for the largest comeback in NFL history after coming back from a 33-point halftime deficit to beat the Colts in overtime 39-36. The Bills' comeback over the Oilers still remains the largest comeback in NFL history. So 33 points. Oh, so I guess technically, because I think at that point it was 34-6. So technically that has been eclipsed. Okay, so technically you could. There's a world where you could do that from halftime, but with like 8 minutes left in the game, they were down 34-6, and so that's a completely different ball game than like coming back from the halftime. You know, you go into the locker room, you get your orange slices, orangey slices, and then you get to come out and try to win the game, as it were. Anyhow, I knew the Eagles were gonna win that game. It was just kind of a foregone conclusion. They just had such a better team top to bottom. But I don't know. I'm not really here to talk about the Super Bowl. Do you guys want to talk about what the hell do you guys want to talk about? I don't even know. You guys all just said hi in the chat and that you wanted to go back to work, which I can't really make heads or tails of that on a Monday. Mark says it's a sleepy Monday. Was up late. Boring Super Bowl, kind of. It was pretty boring. I mean, I'll be honest with you. There were some exciting moments, but like it was pretty glaring that Kansas City never ran the ball. I believe they ran the ball 2 times in the first half, maybe 3 times. Three times. Sorry. They ran it 3 times in the first half. They only ran the ball 3 times. Which is insane in the first half. Yeah, it's crazy. Kareem Hunt had only 3 carries. Yeah, I don't know. I think if you can't run the football in the Super Bowl, they're just going to tee off and rush the quarterback and then sack him a bunch, and that's essentially what happened yesterday. If anybody's wondering, Patrick Mahomes got sacked a bunch of times. Not a good day for him. Not a good day for Patrick Mahomes. Which typically I would say like, boo-hoo for the losing Super Bowl team. Like, it's gotta suck, it's gotta sting or whatever. They won the Super Bowl the last 2 years, and they went to this Super Bowl. So, I don't really feel bad for them because they've been to the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl twice. They went to the Super Bowl this year. There's only 2 teams out of 32 that get to go to the Super Bowl. So, you're an already like rarefied air just getting to go. So if they're, I understand like you want to win the game, but like somebody played a clip that was like Travis Kelce was almost in tears after losing the Super Bowl. And you're like, okay, maybe the guy was like a little bit emotional, but they also won the Super Bowl last year and the year before, right? Like you've already got multiple Super Bowls. It's not like this is the only chance you ever had to win a game. So, yeah. They only showed Mr. Trump once. I was surprised. Didn't want to show where he was hiding, LOL. Yeah, actually, if you want to know the controversy behind that, apparently Fox, the news channel, they're supposed to be founded in truth, but you saw that Rupert Murdoch was at the Super Bowl. And then you had NFL announcers going, there's Rupert Murdoch, the whole reason we're here. Which, first off, absolute bullshit that you would ever hear sports announcers like giving coup de grace to a billionaire fucking champion of misinformation. Absolute misinformation factory coming out of that guy. And for the announcers to even say that during the Super Bowl immediately gives you an inclination as to what big business interests were involved in airing the Super Bowl, right? Then on top of that, the one time that they cut away to Donald Trump, they dubbed the audio over with canned fucking cheering. As reported by the Fox that was broadcast in other countries, that there was booing when the camera went to Trump. And I wholeheartedly want people to fundamentally understand like the insidious nature of this kind of crap that has been going on for so long, because all you ever hear from conservatives and the Republican Party in the United States is that, oh, it's fake news media. Everybody's fake. These all fake. Oh, they're just not reporting the truth. They're lying. Oh, they're lying about me because I'm a bad guy, but I just want everyone to think I'm a good guy, blah, 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 right? And it is 99.9 times out of 100, the self-report on the shit that they're pulling. And it is fucking unbelievable. Like Australia and Germany, to name but 2 countries that people are reporting that there was booing when they had Trump on the Megatron. Many broadcasters around the world used Fox Sports video, but their own audio, especially if in a foreign language or just by network choice, reported after seeing comments from NFL fans in those countries, the audio overlay is clear that Trump at the Super Bowl was soundly booed and hissed, heard clearly on international coverage and commented on in multiple countries. U.S. TV networks overlaid canned cheers instead. And I will say that while I was watching the Super Bowl, it was fucking hella sus, super suspect that when they panned to Trump, all of a sudden the audio of the cheering and whatnot was crystal clear and clearly not the same audio from inside the stadium that they were playing previous to that. Now, did I record the Super Bowl so that we could review this? No, I didn't, because there's copyright concerns that they would launch a fucking copyright. They would launch a copyright claim against me with Rupert Murdoch's fucking lawyer team, that all working for one of the biggest, creepiest fucking billionaires of all time, and yet, once again, here we are in the world where the supposed Trump supporters, right, that are supposed to be this giant consortium of Trump support across the country, which I wholeheartedly believe is falsely amplified, is supposedly there's so many people that are big giant fans of MAGA, and what they want to do is they want to get money out of politics. They want to get corruption out of politics. They want to get big businesses out of, big pharma, right? Like big everything's a big scary thing. Like big pharma. Oh, we got to get him out of there. Okay, what are we going to replace him with? Oh, get me a guy who has $10 billion to singularly provide the health care for everybody. Right? The party that supposedly claims to be the free market, right? They're the advocates of the free market and capitalism and all these things. And supposedly they're champions of that. Like we're here for the little guy. And yet at every turn, they sit here and lick the boots of every creepy fucking billionaire that has that this planet has shat out, to the point where Elon Musk, the president today had to literally answer questions, or was it yesterday or the day before? I don't know when it was. There's Time Magazine released a cover of Elon Musk sitting at the Resolute desk, and the president actually had to sit there and answer questions about it, because it is pretty clear that this maniac is giving access to this other maniac, Elon Musk, a private citizen who has never been elected, who has never won any votes. He didn't even win a popularity vote on his own platform, on Twitter. Where was that Twitter vote where he said he was going to relinquish control? Elon Musk vowed to resign as the head of Twitter, but will remain as a dominant force at the company because he lost a vote on his own fucking website. Should I step down as the head of Twitter, I will abide by the results of this poll. He ran a poll on his own fucking website and lost a popularity contest. He lost a popularity contest with himself, right? It was either him or nothing, right? Just not even option B. The option B was just the ether, just zero, cloud floating away, right? Just the existence of not him. And he lost in a fucking popularity contest with himself and the absence of himself. Do you get what I'm saying here? He hasn't won any vote. None of the U.S. taxpayers have voted for this guy, and yet they're being granted this extreme level of power within our government and access to unprecedented levels of access to the computer systems and whatnot of the country. And I will note that last week there was some reporting done by some more news where they shed some more light on some of the clips that I don't have to play for you at this very moment, where Elon Musk was being interviewed with one of his weird children, and his children was basically admitting to the interviewer, "We do whatever we want. because we won't get caught, in reference to Donald Trump winning the election, and Elon Musk was putting a guarantee on it. And strangely enough, this is after Elon Musk got involved with the campaign, and then after that, Donald Trump was talking on stage about how they were 100% confident they were going to win the vote in Pennsylvania because Elon Musk, he knew the computers, and thanks Elon Musk for doing the computers, I believe. Let's see. Let's look up that clip.
And then he journeyed to Pennsylvania, where he spent like a month and a half campaigning for me in Pennsylvania. And he's a popular guy, and he was very effective. And he knows those computers better than anybody, all those computers, those vote-counting computers. And we ended up winning Pennsylvania like in a landslide, so it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So thank you to Elon.
Right. So Trump comes out and he's fucking babbling on like he always is because he's a fucking brain-rotted maniac, and is talking. That's the quote from him there, where he's talking about how Elon knows the voting computers so much better than anyone else, right? And then, strangely enough, after the inauguration happens, all of a sudden, Elon shows up and gets granted this insane access with his computer team of these. What some people have categorized as kids. They've been calling them kids, right? These people vary from the age of 19 to 25, right? Those are adult men. So first off, stop categorizing them as kids. That's an attempt to downplay the severity of these maniacs breaking into all of the United States advanced computer systems and all of our records and all of that. Like, this is a fundamental raping of the United States voters, essentially. The United States citizens that expect a level of security don't have it now. That doesn't exist anymore. Sorry. And then I consistently been reading stuff from people that like, oh, it's these kids. And my apologies to the fucking boomers out there that want to categorize people that are 19, 20, 24 years old as kids. Okay. First off, if a 24-year-old man broke into your house, if a 24-year-old male broke into your house, took his pants off, and involuntarily had sex with somebody there that was one of your family members, would you categorize that person as a kid? No, absolutely not. But in the case of, oh, those kids and their computers, oh, oh, cool, yeah. Never mind the fact that our monetary system is essentially reliant on computers. The fact that the current administration has invested into fucking Bitcoin and are converting money over into Bitcoin, essentially. They're going to use U.S.-backed securities in order to prop up Bitcoin. And I think wholeheartedly, I believe the reason that they're going to do that is so they can transfer tax money. They can essentially steal tax money from the U.S. government, transfer it into Bitcoin, and then it just gets lost, right? Leon, Gotta Let Go. Now I have the Elton John singing in my head. Oh, yeah. That's a good song. I mean, Elton John, insanely talented songwriter and performer. I mean, realistically, let's be clear about that. Our stance on Elton John: wonderful songwriter, amazing performer, questionable etiquette around the help. The reason I say that is I had a buddy that worked at a fancy worked at a fancy hotel. And, you know, like I said, this is all hearsay. But I had a buddy that worked at a fancy hotel, and Elton John was there for 6 days on one of his tours. And they would bring him in through the back ways, and so that people would know that he was staying at the hotel and this and that. And apparently one of the days that they went through the back hallways, some like waiters and waitresses or whatever were kind of just waiting in that hallway because Elton John's team took him through the wrong hallway. So Elton John ended up walking past the peons, and apparently the two workers that worked for Elton John got fired because somebody, you know, because the waiters and waitresses saw Elton John not in the performance or whatever with his makeup on or whatever the fuck. I don't even know exactly why that would be a concern at that level, that somebody would like lose their employment over that. But you know, my understanding is that the temper gets strong, especially when you become super wealthy and famous and all that stuff and well known. So who knows? Maybe he's just the nicest guy ever, and that was just like the one time. And these aren't butt beads, if anybody's wondering. Don't think what those are. But we can find some on Amazon. If anybody's interested, let me know. I'll find you a link. In the meantime, we got to go to our unaffiliated sponsor of the day, which is not related to, well, I guess maybe it is kind of related. It's kind of related segue. This is a Amazon sponsored link. We get commissions if you click through it and buy stuff at Amazon. I have linked you the G-Spot vibrator dildo with 10 vibration modes. Yeah, deal with that. Here we support the female orgasm because we all know that men are just having them whenever they feel like, right? So for the low price of $18.99, apparently you can get an assist out there, ladies, if needed. My guess would be, if I had to guess, you've probably already figured this out, but hey, maybe yours broke and you need a replacement. Who knows? And to those of you out there that would be like, oh my God, it's so ridiculous that you would talk about vibrators on your YouTube live stream, I would always remind them that Joe Rogan was paid at least $250 million for his podcast, where he regularly advertised the Fleshlight, which is a sex tool that men buy, that it looks like a flashlight on the outside, but it's designed to put your penis inside of it and have sex with it. It's supposed to simulate a vagina inside of a flashlight. That's why it's called a Fleshlight. So, hey, go yell at him before you come yell at me. I'm just here to help. That's the only reason I'm here. Speaking of being here to help, I'm wicked tired today. I'm super tired. I'm super low energy today. I'm sorry. It doesn't have anything to do with the Super Bowl. It has everything to do with our dog being in heat. And that dog will not let people get sleep. That dog will wake you up way too many times in the night because she's in heat. She's very excited and wants you to be awake because she's awake. And I don't like it, but we're almost at the end. And then the next time she goes into heat, we are planning on breeding that dog. That's why she is in heat right now, which is kind of annoying. We also have to put the diapers on her and everything. Yeah, so it's kind of whack. But we'll open up the green room in case anybody wants to call in for fucking low energy man over here. Amazon links are affiliate links, and Joel does receive a small amount of compensation when you order anything through his links. Oh, yeah, that's true. Batteries should be linked. Batteries? Or should we just find a USB charged one? We should find a good USB charged one. Is that what we should do? USB charged. Oh my. Oh, here we go. This one's even cheaper. If you guys are feeling thrifty, if you guys are out there feeling super thrifty, here's a link to a USB charged one that's even cheaper. Oh my god. You know what we should do? Buy some Chinese plastic and have sex with it. Hilarious. Anyhow, let's double check the chat to see what the hell's going on. Helping people smile one Amazon order at a time. Yeah, that's true. We had super chats today. The super chat of $5 from Witch Cat says, "I know we won't reach the goal, but I'm game to try." And then we got a $5 super chat from Skog Shrimp and Stuff. That's right. We have a goal today. We have a super chat goal. We got to hit 10 super chats of whatever color. I don't know. Whatever color, teal? Is that teal? They got to be teal or higher, I guess. I don't know. That's how they make you set it. That's how they make you do it. Lady Guinevere's here. What's up? The NHL game the other night was Florida against Ottawa. They played the Canadian anthem just fine, but just as the American starts, they go to commercial to avoid the booze. That's right. It's the weird thing. Is that, like, I know for a fact that there are some Trump supporters, for sure. Like, I get it. It's not zero. Like, I'm not a crazy person. I don't think that there are zero Trump supporters. But also, I'm also a pragmatic person in the fact that, like, I know that there are Hitler supporters out there, right? I know that for a fact. But I wouldn't at any point in time sit down and think or say or espouse or anything. They're like, oh, a majority of the people think that he's great, right? Now, when you run into somebody who's avidly, outwardly touting that kind of nonsense, they stand out in your mind. Just like the guy down the street, who, by the way, is a supposed conservative, down the road, who's got a sign out that says, like, abortion is murder, blah, blah, blah. He's also got a sign that says, fuck Joe Biden. It says, he also has a sign out that says, fuck your feelings. He also has a sign out that says, Trump 2025, like, making libs cry again. So supposedly, like, these are the people that are supposed to be of Trump, are supposed to be, these are supposed to be the people that are trying to conserve. Right? They're trying to conserve American history and conserve, like, our old standing in the U.S., which I realistically have yet to find a conservative that can give a reasonable answer to make America great again. When was America great? For whom? Right? Because honestly, there is a small portion of the United States, call it 15% of men, maybe 20%, maybe it's higher. I don't know, but it is a percentage of men. And there are a percentage of women that follow those men straight into the depths of hell, that want to return to a time where women aren't allowed to vote, where minorities aren't allowed to vote, we're allowed to just lynch people in the street if we think that they're, I don't know, being obtuse, as Andy Dufresne used to say. And there is a portion of this population that wants that. And for anybody to sit around and act like that's, oh, no, that's not true, you're lying to yourself if that's what you're doing. And, like, one of the reasons that I bring up what can we call them? I call them rapists, and then I get demonetized off of YouTube, but I'm going to just refer to them as rapists because we're all adults around here. That rapists exist, right? Like, we know that those people do exist on this planet, correct? Or are we gonna act like they don't, right? It's certainly not all the dudes, but when somebody does that action, it is glaring and it's really loud. You know what I mean? Like, it's loud in the fact that it gets a lot of attention. The same way that the guy that has the fuck Joe Biden, fuck your feelings, make liberals cry again, blah, 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 all that shit is super loud and it drives a bunch of attention towards it, right? And so suddenly it seems like, wow, there's just so many of these people, right? And when it comes to the internet, it is so much easier. It is so much easier to do that nowadays with certain things like creating bot accounts that will constantly comment on things that act like, wow, this is great, or oh my God, the libs are blah, 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 in an attempt to obfuscate and dehumanize the air quote liberals, right? Into making it seem like they're the gross minority in the United States. And when going through any of the extensive polling that has ever been done, when they extensively poll the United States, it's something like, what is it, 68% of the U.S. population already has the opinion that abortion should just be legal. No questions asked. Just make it legal. I don't want to fucking deal with it, right? Like, that's already the substantial opinion of Americans, right? But you'll do something like turn the Super Bowl on, try to watch the Philadelphia football Eagles versus the Kansas City football Chiefs play each other in the Super Bowl, and when they cut away to the president, who is a direct representative, or who is a direct representative of essentially all that is bad in humans, right? And instead of playing the boos, they cover up the boos with cheering, with canned cheering sound, just like the morning zoo fucking radio show. Which is crazy. We have a caller. Hey, caller. What are you doing?
Yo, yo, yo.
What are you doing? Did you just yo me?
I did yo-yo-yo'd your boat, man.
Oh, man. Weird.
I know. I am weird.
Cultural appropriation, you son of a bitch.
Well, I mean, at least it's not a swastika.
It's true. It's not a swastika. Kanye out there selling swastika shirts. I don't even know if I want to show the Kanye selling swastika shirts on here. I wonder if I'll get a strike on my channel.
Monetized.
No, I wonder if I'll get a strike on my channel.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't show it. I'd blur it out. Or something. But it's the only product on Kanye West's website. There are no other products currently, but a swastika t-shirt.
Extending his noxious return to public life, Kanye West appeared in a Super Bowl ad on local TV stations Sunday night to promote a website selling swastika t-shirts. The bizarrely uncinematic spot, shot in a vertical format with an iPhone, featuring West, who calls himself Ye, reclining in a dentist chair. I spent like all the money for the commercial on these new teeth, he explains. Go to Yeezy.com. Visitors on Monday to Yeezy.com, which sells merchandise for West's fashion brand, could only buy one product, a white t-shirt emblazoned with a large black swastika at a price of $20. The symbol of the Nazi party in Hitler's Germany remains in circulation today among white supremacists and hate groups. What the fuck is that? It remains in circulation.
Like a penny.
Like a penny, yeah.
It's I don't get it, and I thought, okay, because when I went and looked, I was like, maybe it's some weird, like his site's been hacked or something, but nope, it's the same web designer that he's had this whole time.
No, I mean he's already posted "I am a Nazi." That's what he posted. He wrote over the weekend. He says that he loves Hitler. What now, bitches? So, I mean, whatever. I mean, it's him. It's not like he hasn't been hacked. I mean,
I don't get why
his
they
brain
would
is
allow him
obviously
to sell
fucking
that
broken.
advertising.
What's that?
I don't get why they allowed him to sell that advertising spot, or buy that spot.
Because it's Rupert Murdoch's channel. What do you mean? What do you mean you don't understand? They have to pay off $787 million in fines to the fact that they lied about the voting machines in the last election, right?
Right. I don't know.
So why do you think they would take Hitler supporters' money? That's why. What the hell is this website? Yeezy.com?
Yeah, YEEZY.
Yep, it's just a Hitler t-shirt for sale, a Nazi shirt.
And yeah, horrible. There's no branding on the rest of the site or anything else. That's what weirded me out at first.
His site has always been like that.
Yeah, I figured that.
It's supposedly good design to make a website that's not functional. Essentially, like people are like, "What the fuck?" Don't know how to click on anything. Don't know how to buy anything. Don't know what's going on. But yeah, I'm sure just stored a cookie in my browser that's gonna send Elon's Gestapo over to send me to the work camps, probably.
Do you think you'll get sent to the Guantanamo ones, or are they going to ship you to El Salvador?
I don't think I'd end up in the Guantanamo ones. They would send me to the one where they don't have to spend any money on. Although money's kind of imaginary now. I was listening to Bill Kristol the other day, and he had a good point that he was like, if the Department of Justice works at the behest of Donald Trump and they completely eradicate the Department of Justice, essentially, right? And then they essentially nullify the court system by fucking everything up. And then they don't have an enforcement branch for the federal courts anymore. He was kind of pontificating about the idea that, like, why would I pay taxes anymore if there's no one to enforce federal tax code?
Oh, hey.
Right?
Rock on.
He was like, well, if they get rid of all of the people that could possibly prosecute any kind of tax evasion or anything, then why? If there's no enforcement branch, then like, what does it matter, right? It's like, imagine if you actually abolished, like, all police. There's no jails, there's no prisons, there's no police officers, there's no nothing anymore. And you go like, yeah, but that's against the law. And you go like, yeah, but you don't have anybody to enforce the law. You just have people doing whatever they want, right?
Wandering around telling people that what they're doing is against the law, but not able to do anything about it.
Right. And, you know, the idea around that would be the anarchist idea, right? Of that, they go, oh, anarchy means chaos and everybody's just whatever. And it's like, no. Anarchy assumes the idea that that human nature would essentially be overruled by the frontal lobe, essentially, right? So people would be making as opposed to committing crimes because you have like a carnal need, right? Instead of doing that, people would be operating through their frontal lobe and choose and decide to just be doing the right thing. And then there would be no need. Anarchy actually is that you would just have you would have a lack of the enforcement arm. The enforcement arm wouldn't exist anymore.
Right.
Some include it on the fact that fish aren't the main topic. Did you see the video of the Nazis in Cincinnati? I did not, and I don't even know if I want to, but maybe we'll look it up.
Wow. I don't know if it is my internet or what, but you are stuttering both on YouTube and in here.
Who cares? We'll keep broadcasting. I think it's on my end because it said I had lost connection. So, I don't know. Is it bad over there? I mean, if it's bad, we'll just fucking end the show early today. Error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffing. What's the widget say?
I like being... Wait. Maybe I shouldn't admit I like being buffed. That's wrong. Never mind.
Probably getting shut down by YouTube. Talking shit about Rupert Murdoch.
I thought Elon was just turning my satellite switch on and off. She's trouble. Click, 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 click.
Why do I end up with the widget thing here, but I can never close the widget? There's no option to close the widget. I don't know. I'm on my laptop. Nothing's wrong on my end. Good here. I don't know. The alert went off. It said that the stream status was poor, so I don't know. How do we go back to just the regular screen? Stop. I don't want the widget open anymore. Okay, stream's healthy. Okay, the widget thing closed. Okay, good. We've removed the widget. Widgets be damned. Witchy Cat, that's how you get smooth feet, though. They buff the calluses off.
Yeah, not my feet, honey, but I love you.
No, unless it says you're fine here. I was getting a report from YouTube and from Witchy Cat, so we take that seriously around here. You know, we have serious fucking whatever. I don't know. We take it seriously. I don't know what the hell.
The Nazi video audio is so disgusting.
I mean, I don't know. We could take a look. I mean, I'm guessing that because I opened Kanye's website, it probably freaked out the internet. They were like, "What are you doing? You've been hacked." If anybody was wondering, today is 3,927. 3,927.
Good.
Keeping track. I'm keeping track when I get to 4,000 days, because those round numbers, you know, people like round numbers. They're like, we don't give a shit if you've been sober for 3,927 days. That's not a round number. We need a round number. And then all of a sudden they'll be like, oh my God, 4,000 days. And they'll just poop their pants or whatever. I don't know what they'll do. They'll freak out, right?
Flood you with fundage. Congratulations. You used to have you did. Who was that used to super chat whatever your number was that week?
Next tonight, a disturbing scene in an Ohio suburb. Here's ABC's Perry.
Ohio, neighbors confronting neo-Nazis dressed in black, waving swastika flags on an overpass north of the city.
In this neighborhood, we do stand for something. This here turf is golden soil.
Trying to keep everyone apart, the neo-Nazis taking off in a U-Haul. One person seen running down the road, throwing something against the side of the truck. A swastika flag ripped away and set on fire.
Need you, Lord, now to come in the midst of
angry.
These neo-Nazis were wearing similar clothes and face coverings.
Why do they always show up in fucking U-Hauls, man? Why is it their fucking move to show up in U-Hauls? I mean, I guess it's funny because they think that, like, well, if they see my car, they'll trash my car. And it's like, yeah, probably, first off. Second of all, like, it's going to be super easy to track you down through the U-Haul company, right? Because all you do is just get the plate number from the U-Haul truck,
Right.
right? And if they've taken the plates off of it, call into U-Haul and report that there's a stolen U-Haul. B, U-Haul has identifying numbers on the side of their truck.
Right.
U-Haul.
Kind of like tail numbers on a plane.
Yeah. And it's really not going to be very difficult to track down the truck. Well, let's see if we can't just find an image so you guys can look at the image. So here you go. Is that? No, that's not. It's like somebody made an AI version of what I'm looking at. That's so fucking ridiculous. Oh, here they are.
Are there like
Yeah.
6 tires instead of?
Yeah, trust me. We don't need to go into it. You know what to expect. You know what to expect.
Yes, I do.
I'm jokingly going to say it's because you're a bit of a pervert. These are the numbers right here. They're in different locations. They're in different locations, but typically on a U-Haul truck, they'll have the numbers up here 100% of the time. The first two. This is like the area. These first two fucking shits right here, like the TT, the titty, right? The titty. 3607 Mark D, right? As in David, as in douche, as in derecho. The titty 3607D, this would say like the TT means like where that's from. And then this is the registration number and then the model, I think. And so it would be very easy to find where that U-Haul was from. Like, where was it last rented? Now, the easy way to explain when you call U-Haul is say it was in an incident. This vehicle was in an incident with me. And if you really want to clarify what the incident is, you could say, the Nazi party just got out of it and was trying to do shit in my neighborhood, and that's the incident. If that doesn't work for them, if they happen to be like super racists, I would call the police, and report it and see if the police can get on it. But we won't have police soon because Donald Trump's president. He's gonna. Basically, I think really what's going to happen is those people are all going to stop getting paid. Like, they're going to not have funding anymore, and they're just going to dissolve. I think that's the reality of what most things are going to...
or get sucked into the military.
Well, they'll have to replace them with the military is essentially what will happen.
Right.
What most people don't realize is that almost every single red state in the union here relies on federal dollars to continue... operating, like just existing as a state. And so once those federal tax dollars disappear, for instance, tell me what Alabama is going to do. Like, does Alabama have a plan? Are they just going to put the college in charge? They're just going to fucking, hey, college, roll tide. Can you fix it? Do you have boosters? Do you have enough boosters to run the state government?
Of course not,
it's essentially what's
like
going to happen. And then once the chaos breaks loose hard enough, that's when you just start to bring in martial law, start to replace all of our police with indoctrinated National Guardsmen, indoctrinated military guys. You start to hire in a lot of the brain damaged, like 40-year-old veterans, right? The ones. Right. You know what I'm talking about. The ones where they complain that they don't have enough support from the VA, even though there are extensive hospitals, doctors, resources to them, not only cash resources, but they also get their health insurance paid for. I've had this conversation with a lot of VAs and a lot of veterans about the VA. Is that is the VA perfect? No. Would it need to be perfect for you to show the fuck up at your doctor appointment that you don't even have to fucking pay for? Does it need to be perfect in order for you to show up? And apparently that's generally the consensus that I've run into, except for all of the other veterans that I know that are like, no, I just show up to my appointments. Everything's going well. I kind of, I do the kind of recommended stuff. Yes, I've seen a psychiatrist. Yes, I've done some of the counseling, blah, blah, blah. Those guys don't seem to have a problem at all. Right. Even though that it is an extraordinarily traumatizing thing to go through. I don't discount it at all. As a matter of fact, I would support my troops, I would support the United States in all aspects of the duties that they have to carry out. Like, it's not easy, and I never claimed that it was easy. And they are traumatized, and I never claimed that they weren't traumatized. But one of the big issues is that a lot of those guys that are traumatized and getting worse is because they aren't even showing up to the free stuff that they have. And one of the perfect examples of that is that one of the big VA hospitals in Washington, you can see it from Seattle, right? It's up on the hill. You can see it from Seattle. So traffic, parking, getting down there, pain in the ass. So a lot of guys I know are not willing to drive to Seattle because they're like, well, I don't want to have to drive somewhere to get the care. And it's like, should the doctor drive over to your house with a fucking MRI machine in the back of their truck with nurses and IVs and every drug under the sun to, like, take care of you here? You shouldn't have to be slightly inconvenienced by commuting somewhere. Okay. And that's 9 times out of 10 that has been my experience. Is that exactly how everything goes? No, but that's more often than not have been my experience. I can recount an Army Ranger who was having what could only be described as like another like traumatic flashback type situation where he was getting violent with the group of people that I was with. This is about 20 years ago. And this is not the first time that had happened with this individual. And at the time, I may or may not have broke his orbital socket attempting to stop said interaction. And yeah, and yet the guy would refuse to go to his VA appointments over and over and over again. And it was eventually like, hey, nobody can be friends with you anymore. Sorry, I guess go find some more friends and see how it works out with them, you know? And it's tragic. And I'm not happy about any of that. And I don't think that or be happy about any situation like that. In fact, I feel bad that a wonderful individual had been traumatized, but a lot of it had to do with the fact that he just wouldn't show up to the VA. And yet if you watch the news, every veteran is complaining up and down, up and down, up and down about how bad the VA is. It's the worst thing ever. Oh my God, it's unbelievable. And yet, like, most of the complaints is that it's not a concierge service that like comes and gives you your treatments at your house, at your behest. Like, just come serve me like I'm a king, right? And that is frankly pretty irritating to me. And even as we illustrated, we talked about it last week, you know, we're talking about the VA serving 3.9% of the population or something like that. It's quite the small number of people. And we definitely do put some money into it. Should there be more? Yeah, I think so. But watch out. I'm a big socialist, so watch out. You know, it's like I'm a Democrat. I'm a democratic socialist. Like, I wholeheartedly believe that democracy should be at the epicenter of our focus, and bringing more democratic decisions into our lives in all aspects. I wholeheartedly believe that workplaces. Now, I don't think that the janitor should have an equal vote to a CEO, although CEOs should not be getting paid and compensated the amount of money that they are. I don't think that the janitor should have the same vote, but the janitor should have some kind of vote in the direction that a company wants to go. And if for instance, the CEO came out and said, "Hey, we're going to eliminate all of our American-based products, and we're just going to start selling you cheap fucking Chinese-made tchotchkes by people that work in sweatshops," instead of one person making that decision, it realistically should come down to all of the people that are involved in the company to some degree, right? Now, big corporations have essentially adopted that idea by putting in a board, right? Where the board votes on which way the company is going to go and whatnot. But strangely enough, it always seems to not encompass any of the fucking blue collar workers or even the middle management white collar workers, right? It never includes any of them. It's just a small consortium of cigar smoking, TRT taking, fucking hair transplant getting, fucking fragile egoed narcissists that are the ones voting on what's going to happen. What's up?
I said high paid.
Can we get a fucking... Can you tell us what the hell is going on the mountain out there? We need a mountain report.
Oh, okay.
That's
sure.
what we need.
It's all right. It's about 10 degrees.
Oh,
sunny.
fucking crispy 10 degrees.
Yes. Sunny, windy. So wind chill of about probably 0, maybe a hair under.
What is that in Celsius? What is it?
Oh, don't make me Celsius shit. I don't do this. I'm close to Canada, but I don't speak Canadian. Sorry.
You should learn to speak Canadian.
I should, because I'm likely to escape over there someday. I'm very glad my greenhouse and woodshed are actually, because the sun is still out, very comfortable. I can go out there in a sweater, and I don't need a coat. It's probably about 45, 50 in the greenhouse.
Oh.
Feels lovely.
Tolerable.
And then this, wow, it's wonderful. And then the sun goes down, and fuck
die.
that noise. But
And
yeah,
you die.
Basically. You
It gets-
freeze to whatever you're sitting
Dude,
on.
if you're up at Witchy Cat's house and the sun goes down, like wrap your balls up in something warm, because you might lose them. You might lose them
Even
real
if
quick.
you don't have any.
Whatever your balls are, I don't know. I mean,
They will crawl up inside your body, be they balls or boobs. It's bad.
D-Rock, in comment to the video earlier, says every other word in the video from the bridge is an N-bomb, and it makes my skin crawl. Yeah, I mean, that's the reality. I mean, this is one of the things that, like, people that have been following my channel for a really long time know that I've talked about this on many, many occasions, of the type of people that I've run into in the United States, and the fact that hate groups exist, the fact that super racist people 100% still exist, people that idolize Hitler, white supremacists, these insane religious groups, and they're all like commingled together. I mean, that's the thing. Like, the super religious guys will hang out with the Klan members because they're all of like mind. You know, that's the unfortunate thing is that, like, the modern day religions are so fucking bastardized by the corporate interests that are themselves, that they are sitting there spending all of their time indoctrinating their parishioners into donating money to them while they sort of try to whitewash history. You know, I saw a TikTok the other day where a lady was like, imagine if there was a female sky being that had female 12 apostles that were females, and this one really important daughter of the sky being was a female, and the females, you know, are the ones that they just run everything forever. Right? And the men just step aside because it's because you know, it's the right thing to do, right? Because the imaginary sky being, and, you know, I had a conversation this weekend with somebody from the South that was, they were attempting to defend the church in the fact that, like, well, people are indoctrinated because we're thinking that everybody's different and blah, 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 and this and that and the other thing. And I was like, where does that come from? Where does that originate from? Like, who's pushing that agenda, right? And it's like, oh, these lefties are pushing the agenda. And it's like, hold on a second. You think that the people on the left are somehow forcing Fox News to talk about race issues in the worst possible way every night of the week? They're forcing Tucker Carlson to go on to his to go on to fucking interviews with Piers Morgan and defend the Russian oligarchy, right? And defend the fact that Russia is allowed to invade Ukraine because they were scared of NATO, right? Like, do you somehow think like the lefties are the ones that are forcing them to do this? No, it's not. It's the goons like fucking Rupert Murdoch that are forcing them to spit out these insane talking points, and these people just fucking eat it up because they have no ounce of critical thinking. They don't have a shred of critical thinking in their body to sit back and go like, wait a minute. Tucker Carlson last week was talking about how spirits were attacking his body in the night, which in that video he specifically talked about how, what's that?
Oh, I said we call those wet dreams, Tucker. Sorry, go on.
No, he was recounting a dream with some religious guy that was interviewing him about how spirits were attacking his body. And in the video, he talks about, well, the only people that were in the bed were me and my wife and my 4 dogs. And you got to be fucking kidding me. You got to be fucking kidding me that these brainwashed weirdos will sit there and believe, and a guy who wholeheartedly has admitted over and over again that he's a lying piece of shit, under the excuse that it's entertainment, right? And over and over again. And then even in the video explains that there are 4 dogs sleeping in the bed with him, and that he got attacked in the night by a spirit, and he had scratches all over his body.
Oh no.
How difficult is it to piece together? How difficult is it to piece together that something spooked the dogs in the night? They got up and probably jumped up and ran out of bed and scratched him on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
How difficult is it for you to put that together? But no, the explanation is spirits and ghosts and shit scratched him up. Hold on.
That's ridiculous.
In my bed
So
at night, and I got attacked while
this
I
is
was
right
asleep
here
with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed and mauled by a
Give
demon.
it to us.
So, Tucker Carlson has a really wild story that's worth thinking about, and we
Wait, they were bleeding.
They're bleeding, yeah. No, they're actual claw marks. And I
here we go.
breathed
Hold
and
on.
I thought
Where
of
is it?
claw marks on my sides, on my bed at night, and I got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed and mauled. Physically mauled.
Yeah, there it is right there. Hold on.
Nope. In my bed at night, and I got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed and mauled.
He got attacked in the middle of the night while he was asleep with his 4 dogs, his wife and his 4 dogs in the bed.
Yeah.
And he got scratches all over his body. He literally, the recount right there explains. All right, hold on. I'll show you what this fucking idiot looks like.
No.
This buffoon right here, this human buffoon, is literally recounting that he was attacked by spirits in the night while he was in his bed with his wife and his 4 dogs. Okay? I have 2 dogs in my bed, and they're not even very big. 2 little dogs, and I get scratches every once in a while because something will happen, and a dog will jump up and start barking because it heard some sound outside. Heavy bass from a car passing by, a train horn, somebody lighting off fireworks because the Philadelphia football Eagles won the football game last night to win victoriously into the Super Bowl, so you must light off some fireworks in order to accomplish it. And yet this guy will go on, and then there are fucking these bullshit fucking Christian channels like this who will get I mean, actually only 10,000 views, but I wonder how many super chats these fucking clowns got. There's at least one in the comments that I saw. Anyhow, these guys are out here making money off reporting on this, right? From the One Life Network, right? In this video, I dive into a chilling story of a demon attack shared by Tucker Carlson. If you've been following the latest updates, you know that Tucker Carlson... oh my God, you know that Tucker Carlson attacked by demon has been making waves. Oh my God, written by a fucking bot. I'll break down the full details of the Tucker Carlson attacked by demon full episode, exploring the political and spiritual implications. Whether you're a fan of the Young Turks, passionate about politics, or curious about the supernatural, this video has something for you. Let's uncover the truth behind this mysterious demon attack and its connection to Tucker Carlson. And it's just an absolute fucking absurdity that anybody would sit around and think that at any point this was at all serious in any way. And then I guarantee you there's just 1,000 bot responses down in the comments. I clicked off the video. I don't even want to fucking look at it. But for somebody to sit around and go like, oh, this is an obvious recount from a known fucking grifter liar that is like, oh, it's me, my wife, and my 4 dogs in the bed, and I was attacked by spirits in the night, and I got scratches all over my body. Right? Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. There's 4 dogs in the bed. Right? Occam's razor. What's the simplest explanation here? The dogs got spooked by something and scratched you a little bit while you were sleeping. End of story.
Yep. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I like that he specifically uses the word mauled, but it wasn't the dogs. Yeah. I mean, obviously it wasn't the dogs. It obviously wasn't mauled by the dogs, right? It was spirits and spooky spirits and ghosts and shit. It's ridiculous. But the same people that support this kind of fucking bullshit are the same people that believe there's an imaginary ghost man in the sky. If you touch the wrong genitals at some point, even your own, by the way, if you touch the wrong genitals at some point, you're gonna they get to punish you in the most disgusting, disturbing way that you can possibly think of for eternity, forever, right? Billions and billions and billions and billions of years. When your lifespan is like at best 85 years here on Earth, they're gonna get to punish you. They're gonna get to punish you for billions of years because you met a really nice girl at the bar when you were 24 years old, and she was a spicy 23 years old, and you decided to have consensual sexual relations together. There's going to be this being that comes because you didn't do like a ceremony thing ahead of time.
Right.
There's going to be a being that comes down from the sky when you die and removes your spirit. I guess we'll just call it a spirit. They're going to remove your spirit and they're going to take it to a place. They're going to take your spirit to a place and torture it for billions of years, right? Billions of years, forever. There's no coming back. There's no coming back. There's no coming back from getting a blowjob from a very attractive young lady at a bar in a bathroom stall somewhere. There's no coming back. There's no coming back. You will spend an eternity being tortured for 12 minutes of fun this one time. this one time, right? I'm not speaking of myself. I'm not speaking of myself in that colorful story there of oral sex and fellatio and whatnot. Somebody make that make sense other than you've been brainwashed by your fucking parents and spent the last however many years you've been alive just lapping it up out of a bowl like a little kitten drinks up some milk out of a saucer put out by its owner, right? It's fundamentally insane that we still have to deal with this fucking craziness in 2025.
On an explain this in a non-religious note, I've had to try to explain to two different people this week how Trump seems to think that firing women from positions of power is somehow protecting women.
What are you trying to convince me that that's a thing?
No, I know that you are well aware that Trump thinks that that's a thing. What I'm trying to figure out is in what world that logic works.
Well, listen, Trump's been married to women before, so obviously, right?
I mean, okay, I still think they're all bots, but that's just me.
Well, he's been married before, so obviously he respects women, right?
Totally respects women.
He has a daughter, right? So obviously he respects women. He respects her so much that he lets people know on national TV that he would have sex with her if she wasn't his daughter because she's that hot.
Right.
That's how much he respects women. That's how much he respects the women that he has produced to talk about her on TV like that. Was that on fucking Oprah or something? What was that on?
I think it might have been Oprah.
I know that
or Megan.
I know that recently the goofball fucking conservative weirdos have been they've been trying to tout that like, oh, look, they used to like Donald Trump a lot because they had him on his TV shows. Right? Because he went on The View or something and they were like nice to him on The View or whatever. They're like, oh, they used to like Donald Trump. Look, they had him on his show. And it was like,
right.
How is that any indication that like the people that are putting out a show, like first off, I don't like The View. I don't fucking care. If it went off the air, I wouldn't care one way or another. What?
You know that you DVR The View and Wendy Williams, that those are your top two.
Dude, I don't even have a DVR, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But either way, I don't care if those shows go off the air. But if you're so fucking brainwashed and indoctrinated by your idiotic Fox News shit that you watch all the time, that you lack the critical thinking skills to sit down and go, is The View on 5 days a week?
Yes, Monday through Friday.
It's on 5 days a week, and let's say that they take a break. How often do you think they take a break? Like once a quarter or something?
Yeah, probably a little more frequently than that.
Once every 2 months or something. I don't know. But let's say that they do. Let's get our calculator out so that we. Let's get our calculator. So let's say there's 52 weeks in a year, and they take off 8 of them. So 44, and then we'll go times 5 equals 220. And then how many guests do you think they have per show? 2 to 3?
I think it's 2. Usually, I don't know. I have never
2 to
watched,
3, like maybe one of them's like a cooking,
right? A segment or some shit. Yeah.
So let's say times 2.5. So in a year, they have to book 550 guests. Okay, So let's say you brought on all of the state senators. Let's say you brought every single senator on, right?
Okay.
How many is that? Can we do the math? Let's
Isn't it
subtract.
2?
What's that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
2 per state and then non-voting. So let's bring we'll go minus 102 because there's one non-voting Puerto Rico and then one. Hold on. What's I want to double check because I thought it was 102 because 2 of them are like non-voting, right? Because there's one for Puerto Rico.
I didn't realize Guam had one, but I might be wrong.
There's one for Puerto Rico and then one for... But they're non-voting, right? They don't even have it listed at the top of the Senate. There's 100, but there's 2 that are not voting, right? Or are those just in the House? Those might be just in the House.
Yeah, because there's... I don't know. Now you've got me curious. Damn it.
There's 2 each from 50 states. Adding up the 100 is correct, but I think there's a Puerto Rican one, right? But they don't vote. No, I guess there isn't. It's just in the House. Okay. I thought there was a senator from Puerto Rico just in the House.
Yeah, it looks like there are 6 total non-voters.
Yeah, one from D.C., one from Puerto Rico, all in the House, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's like Guam, D.C., Puerto Rico. I think Puerto Rico has 2, right? But they don't vote. They're
Right.
non-voting.
American
Sorry,
Samoa.
6 non-voting members. Yep.
Mariana and the Virgin Islands. And then there's a 7th for the Cherokee Nation, but he hasn't yet been seated.
They should be allowed to vote. But
And the Choctaw Nation is named.
but Donald Trump's trying to refuse their citizenship. Did you see that?
I did.
Which is insane.
I've gotten into that argument several times over the last 2 weeks as well.
Yeah. Just fucking crazy. Just fucking crazy.
Yep.
But I guess if they revoke my daughter's citizenship, then we'll have to move to a reservation. So I don't know. I'll move there, I guess, if I have to for my daughter. 'Cause I would do anything for my daughter.
But I won't do that.
No, but I would do that.
I know. I'm
I
just
would do that.
quoting the rest of the song.
No, but I would. This is the new
I believe
version.
you.
This is the
Okay,
new
I like
version
the
where
new-
you sing the background and then I bust in. Hell
right,
no,
rock
bitch! I'll do it.
I'm not calling you Meatloaf. Sorry.
Oh man, what a fucking talent, really is. Anyhow, so back to our calculator. So 550 guests a year. Let's say they brought on every single senator. You're down to 450 guests a year. Let's say you bring on every big news anchor. Let's take the number goes down by what, 30? So now you're at 420 guests. Let's say you bring in 200 actors and actresses to talk about whatever movies are coming out, or whatever their charitable foundation is, or whatever the fuck's going on. You're still at over 200 guests you got to book a year, right? So let's say you bring on some musical guests. I mean, what is there, 50 that you could bring on. I mean, you obviously can't bring on Kanye because he's just going to talk about Hitler the whole time. You obviously can't bring on
Carney B.
You could bring on Cardi B.
Yeah, I would, but I don't know that the view would.
I would. It would be exciting. Actually, you could probably bring Cardi B on. I bet you she's an Oprah fan. I would put money on it because she's a fan of billionaires. She's a fan of black ladies that are in charge. I've seen that out of her.
Yes.
In interviews. So I bet you I would wager. Or no, Oprah's not on there. What's her name? Whoopi. Whoopi Goldberg's on there. I bet you she's a fan of Whoopi. I would wager money on that. Whatever. But regardless of that, my whole point is that like you have to be out of your fucking mind if you think that they would bring Trump on there because they were big fans of him. It's like, nope. We have a spot to fill and we need a known name to show up to do an 8-minute segment so we can get to the next commercial break.
Apprentice.
What's that?
Right. I said about the fucking Apprentice at the time.
Yeah, it was just about the Apprentice, another TV show that was fake. Which I've oh my God, I don't know how many times I've had to talk to fucking conservatives about The Apprentice and explain to them that it is 100% scripted. It is a scripted TV fucking show. Like, what the fuck, man? You know, they're like, no, it's reality TV. It's real. Donald Trump told Hollywood that they're fired. Like, how fucking stupid do you have to fucking be? Like, how fucking brain rotted are you that you think that Donald Trump fired Hollywood? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. No.
I miss having a cat. It's been a year since mine passed, and he was the coolest. Yeah, I mean, I could get it. I get that. I get why people like cats. I don't like cats, but I get why you people like them, I guess. I don't know.
They like you.
They're all right. I mean, they like me, yeah. I mean, that's because I'm fucking cool as shit, bro.
Okay.
What's that?
And so humble. I said, okay, and so humble.
Didn't you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just agree. You just nod your head.
Okay.
Correct. So smart. He's cool. He's a cool guy. No, I think that like most, it's sort of pretty rare that like an animal gets weirded out by me. So, and I think most cats are like, this guy's all right. Like, all right. He's not going to like bite my face off or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I have no intention. But I'll give you pets if you're cool. Just don't scratch up my pants. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like having loose fibers or threads. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want to have a hanging thread or a hanging chad or a hanging anything, you know?
He's talking to you, Salt.
I don't like to have a hanging anything, including my hang down. My hang down should be fully turgid at all times. I don't like it hanging down.
No
what the hell?
dangling participles for you.
What's that?
I said no dangling participles for you.
No, I just don't want everything non-hanging.
All right.
He was a
you're gonna
fat.
have to attend to that on your own.
What's that?
So you're gonna have to attend to that one on your own.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll just get a hammock. He was a fat Garfield orange, never cared about plants or fish or tanks. Now, birds, he loved birds. Oh, yeah. I had a cat growing up that was all black, evil cat, named Shadow. Had bright yellow eyes, and that cat would eat all sorts of birds, squirrels, rodents of all kinds, voles. I saw that bird, or I saw that cat jump off of the top of a, not like a 2-story garage, but like one of the 1.5 ones, you know, that you could fit like you could back a big truck into it, but they didn't have like an upstairs.
Right.
Jumped off the top of that to capture a big ass robin mid-flight, take it to the ground, fighting it the whole way down to the ground, and killed it on the ground. Just insane cat. You couldn't kill that cat. The cat would not die. I bet that cat's probably still alive somewhere. But we ran it over with the truck, and it didn't die. Accidentally, my dad like backed out of the driveway, black cat, black asphalt driveway. Didn't fucking see the cat. Just ran right over the cat. Cat didn't die. The cat would bite and attack everyone. Was so mad. And then it would just come sleep in my bed and let me pet it all night. Same with my sister. Cat was super nice to me and my sister and would just hiss and fucking attack anybody, including my grandma, who regularly would get attacked by that cat whenever she came over to the house. Generally, except for when the cat was inside the house, it wouldn't attack anybody. Unless you like really got up in her space. Like if she was just chilling over there, she wouldn't like run over and attack anybody. But if you went over like, hey, look, you have a cat and it's in here. It's like, no. Like, don't invade the personal space. Like we're going to have to get stitches, bro. You're going to have to get heavily irrigated wounds, when we go to the hospital to get them looked at. And as a matter of fact, like one day my dad would come home. So like when I was a kid, my dad was a custodian for a school district. He was like the head custodian guy.
Right.
So he had to like bounce around to different schools all the time, but he worked at one main school. And what he did was when I was really little, he would get up and he would drive to, was it the Herald? I think it was the Herald or something. I don't know. I forget. Seattle Times or who knows? Newspaper place. Load up his truck with newspapers every morning, and then he would drive around and do a paper route, like from a car, like a vehicle paper route. So I think he would do like, I don't know, 1,200 papers or something like that. And then he would drive over to the school and he would work at the school all day. As a janitor, you would be, cleaning toilets and taking out garbage and, vomit and poop all over the place. Because my dad did work at an elementary school, so he got all of the special stuff. But he was like the head custodian of the district, so he would like have to deal with the high school bullshit too. But then he would do that. Then when he got done with the day, he would come home and then he would sort of just be spacing out on the couch and take naps. He would just like nap out, which I do that too. I like when I just sit still for a while, I'm like, I might as well just sleep for a little bit. And like we literally took Olivia to her doctor's appointment this morning, and like I just took a nap in the waiting area when I was out. It's like, oh, okay, it'd be about what 40 minutes. Okay, I'll just go out there and like, I'm sure somebody like came into the waiting area like, what's up with this fucking guy? So one day my dad, he was like taking his little nap, and I guess he kind of like rolled over under the cat, and the cat kind of freaked out because the cat was like up on top of the couch. And he probably didn't notice that the cat was there, or maybe the cat walked over and laid down next to him. I don't know how it worked out. But we had this really dark colored couch. It was like a really, really, really dark blue, almost black. So you really wouldn't notice a black cat laying on it. Anyhow, maybe he moved, maybe the cat moved. I don't know, but the cat freaked out and attacked my dad. And he woke up and was like, God damn it, and like fucking grabbed the cat. And he had the cat and he was like fighting the cat. Like the cat was like attacking his arm as he's like holding the cat over his head. Runs out to the front door and just chucks the cat out into the yard. Like, fucking God damn it, this fucking cat. Shit slams the door shut, like fuck that cat. Stay outside, you fuck. And 8 or 9 hours later, a cat came back like, hey, I've got a dead creature. Let me in. It's nighttime now, or I get to go take naps.
I brought you a gift.
Yeah. It's like, of course, my dad like, God, that fucking cat, And then, of course, when my parents got divorced, that cat was already like, I don't even know how old, but by the time my parents got divorced, my dad kept the cat. And he moved to this place where he had a bunch of Russians living behind him. that had like a big giant chicken coop. So there was a big language barrier between my dad and the Russians, and the fact that his this evil cat would attack the chickens. And after a while, the cat just suddenly disappeared. But the cat was super old by then already. So my dad was like, well, it was either the Russians or the cat just went off and died somewhere.
Only
but
the
it had
Russian
to be
mob
like,
could kill the cat.
it had to be like 16, 17, something like that. And the funny thing is my dad always said that he hated cats, but now he like collects weird cats. I don't know if this makes sense. But he found one of his yes, the feral cats. And he won't have like 10 of them or anything crazy like that, but he'll have like 3 now. And he'll be like, oh, well, this one's name is George, or whatever. Or this one's named Fred, and she's really cool, and you're like, what? But he has these cats, and then I don't understand how this happened, but he met this really big feral cat, like probably like half Maine Coon, half regular cat, so it gives you an idea, like a big ass cat.
Right.
And the cat was just wandering around, and my dad was outside doing whatever the fuck my dad does. And he apparently like came along this cat, and then somehow the cat like was like, "Oh, you're my friend," and my dad was like, "Oh, I met him outside, and he was really nice, and I petted him and everything." And then I went back inside, and he just stayed outside the house. And so every time he would go outside the house, the cat would be there, and he was like, well, I don't know. I guess the cat lives here now. So he just brought the cat in, took it to the vet. And so he had that cat for some years. But, of course, you didn't know how old the cat was when he got it. So,
Right.
But he had that cat for some years. But he would put a leash on the cat and take it for walks around the neighborhood.
Excellent.
My dad with his cat on a leash going around the neighborhood. I don't know. It's probably entertaining to his neighbors, I would imagine. But now he doesn't have any neighbors. He moved to a house where he has none. So I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know how many cats he has now. I haven't been up there to see him in a while.
Those are the kind of places where people just randomly dump cats, so you get an amazing number of ferals. It's been my experience.
A fish tank update. I took a bucket of plants out of this tank back here, and look how empty it is now.
It doesn't look very empty. It looks
no,
great.
it doesn't, does it?
No.
It's still full. I had a big ass bucket full of trimmings and everything.
That's funny.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, it's still full. I hadn't trimmed. I was way off schedule on my trimming there. I was just enjoying the lush, and then I was like, uh-oh. We had reached a point where the lush is a detriment to the other plants, so it's time to.
Or the fish. There's nowhere.
I mean, I got dwarf baby tears doing quite well in a 24-inch deep tank. So the last thing you want to do is then shade them with an excessive amount of plant matter blocking the beams of light that they require.
Puffy. Is Puffy still hiding from the trimming?
Puffy's right there. He's right here in the corner. He's right up here. There he is. There he goes.
Not yet on the video. Sure.
There he is right there. Swimming. I fed him right before the show, so he's probably like feeling meaty.
Lethargic. He's got fishy food coma.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, but
there he is.
He would never eat. He would never eat anything except snails. And then I slowly been introducing him to frozen food. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is that eventually, now he's like, "Where's my frozen food? Do you got it? Where's the cube of frozen? I want to eat it." And so when I checked on him just a minute ago, like right before the show, he had like frozen bloodworms hanging out of his mouth, like a savage, and his belly was all big because he ate the whole thing. Like he'll sit there and he'll just eat the whole block of bloodworms, like as it falls apart.
Right. That's
I
funny.
still see a couple bloodworms up there floating around. The Endlers haven't gotten to him yet. I need to get some more Endlers from Alyssa. My Endler population didn't explode the way that I wanted it to. I kept having problems with them having babies, like the females once they were pregnant. Every time they got to the point where they were going to give birth, they seemed to have a monumental issue giving birth, and that's normally when they were like, "Oh, damn, I found a dead one," you know. And which is a sign that there was just not enough what's the word I'm looking for here? Like calcium and whatnot in the water. So since then, I've introduced a bunch, and the males that are left are doing great. They're not having a problem at all. They are robust and doing well, but I only have like one or two females left. So unless they start giving birth like crazy, we're gonna have a problem. Alyssa Bentley says it's funny how much smaller Puffy looks in a 120-gallon tank. He does look small in a 120-gallon tank. He really does. He's like just swimming around in his own little world. And Alyssa, out of everybody in the world, knows just as well as I do that Puffy, he's not exactly the most active fish in the world. He's like, "Oh, is that food?" And he'll come out and he'll bonk around for a little bit because he's like, "Hey, is there food?" And then if you're like, "Oh, you just walked by and you're ignoring me, fine, I'll go back to sleep." And then he's like hides in a bush and snoozes like a lazy bastard. But I mean, what else are you supposed to do if you're a fish? Are you supposed to be not a lazy bastard? I don't know. I feel like the fish leave that to the salmon and stuff like that. You know, they're like, let those guys be all fucking spicy.
How old is
Those
Puffy?
boys can be spicy boys. We don't need to be.
How old is Puffy?
I have no idea.
Okay, good answer.
He's like, I don't, 6, 5, 6.
Oh.
I mean, I had him in Tacoma for a couple of years, and we've lived here. In May, it'll be 3 years I've lived here. So that's like 5, right?
There you
Puffy,
go. All right.
how old are you?
When's your birthday?
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't know.
Well, that's interesting. "15 cases of measles in West Texas." Yay. Sure glad RFK Jr. is going to take over that Health and Human Services medical aspect of life. We're all going to die.
Are we all going to die? What's going on?
15 cases of measles in West Texas.
Oh, yeah, the measles outbreak.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to walk around putting RFK stickers on. I did that.
I did that.
But we won't. I don't know what font we're going to be able to use because I don't know what font represents his fucking insane voice.
It's got to be like Worms, brainworm font.
Just seen an old man in a cowboy hat and a jacket walking down the street with a 8-foot cross over his shoulder. Yeah, and I'm telling you, like, when it comes down to there being like 350 million people in the United States, there are going to be like insane people doing insane things, right?
Yeah.
And the reality of that is that like that is essentially a innocuous and non-threatening thing. in isolation, right? Like a guy just walking down the street with some lumber over his shoulder formed into a shape of a cross, not a big deal. It's not threatening. It's not like, it's just a guy with some wood, like whatever. But it has more to do with the context of like probably what that dude is up to. There just really isn't any proposed like what's that guy up to scenario that's like, oh, that's good. You know?
Right. Right. It's never, oh, that's very sweet. It's always, what?
Yeah.
It reminds me of the monster shouter from The Stand.
Is he headed to is he headed to a Klan rally?
Book burning?
A cross burning? A book burning?
Are we going to beat someone or nail someone to that 8-foot cross? What we got going on?
Yeah, it's like what's the plan here? Because the plan, in context, historical context, there's just generally not anything good coming out of that. Can't be, won't be, you know.
I mean, if he's going to nail himself to the cross, I'm not sure how hard I would, protest, but still. Rock. Goodness.
In my head, it was like, where's he gonna burn that? Yeah, I mean that's the reality. Is that like, in it being an isolated thing, it realistically shouldn't be that big of a deal. But like when you add in historical context, it's like, oh, that's not good. This can't be good, right? And it's like, that's an easy explanation as to like when somebody says critical thinking skills, right? Like that's what we're talking about. When you're able to apply an amount of knowledge towards something that is happening, it's like that is a good explanation of basic critical thinking skills, right? It's like a guy going down the street with a little bit of wood. That's not a big deal. It shouldn't be a big deal. But you turn it into a cross and is obviously probably a fucking weirdo. And you're like, historically speaking, this isn't going to end well, right?
Right.
Which is crazy to think because, like, the best case scenario is the crazy thing to think about. Is that, like, nothing happens and he just puts it up somewhere, right?
Right.
And you don't ever hear about it. And you're like, oh, okay. And that's like the best case scenario.
Right. Exactly.
As opposed to, like, hey, this guy took the cross down and he tried to put it up in front of some other weird group of religious weirdos that believe that there's an imaginary Santa Claus in the sky that's going to punish them or reward them in the afterlife forever, for eternity or whatever, whether it's the however many virgins you get after you're dead.
72, I
Which
think.
is like, fundamentally, like, you would have to engage critical thinking skills just so, like, somebody promised you 72 of something after you're dead. Like, what? Why? Like, if you have the ability to supply 72, I guess, virgins, right? So supposedly in their mind, they're thinking like 72 nubile, young, attractive females that they get to mate with, right? I guess. I would imagine that's probably what they're envisioning in their mind, is like 72 naked ladies with the boobs and the buns and all that, and then they get to have sex with all of them or whatever. And that's supposedly the afterlife that has been promised to them. Which, if you were to apply some critical thinking skills, like the first thing would be if you could supply 72 to everyone or whatever, right? Why not 100?
Right.
Like, is there somehow there's some kind of like unlimited power? It's like unlimited power, but it also has its limitations. Like, I have unlimited power until I get to 72, and then I can't do anything anymore. Right?
It just runs dry.
What? But also, like, where are the 72 coming from? Because this Earth is not 72 to 1 females to males.
Yeah.
Like, this Earth is what is it? 1.0. What is it? 1.0 no. 1.08 females to 1 male. There's more females than males, by the way. So those of you fucking incels hanging out in the basement, like, statistically speaking, you should be able to get a date.
Yep.
If you want to bring statistics into it.
Your own damn fault, boys.
But yeah. But, like, you just look around and go, like, where are the 72 coming from? And then plus, you have to at least have the understanding that all of the women on Earth aren't virgins, because I got news for you other incel fucking guys. There's some of them are smashing cakes, is what I'm saying, you know? Some of them are getting laid. Some people are.
Yep.
So those can't be virgins, because the definitionally, like, if you've had sex once, then you're not a virgin anymore, and you're not good for a present in the afterlife, I guess. I don't know why you're going to get a present, but I don't know why you would be gifted the present of humans. There's also that. Yeah. So, like, are those 72 virgins, are they just slaves of their God being?
I don't know about, I would assume that female virgins are a pain in the ass, but I'm here to attest that male virgins are no treat. They're not like someone experienced or someone a virgin. I'm taking the experienced dude. No offense, virgin boys. But
I don't know. I will comment on something here that might be a little. This might be a little spicy. This might be a little risky for YouTube.
Say
it. One thing I've noticed after the years of sleeping with older and older women.
Yes.
Like, really young women will complain about, like, longevity, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like, oh man, he only had sex with me for like 30 seconds and then he finished, you know. And so all guys will work on getting their stamina to a point where you could smash for like an hour or whatever, right?
Yep.
And then here's the other side of the coin. Then the women will start complaining because you're like, why didn't you come? Right? And you're like, that's what you want, you know? And it's weird because it's like, it's seated in the like, well, you don't think I'm hot anymore, right?
Right.
And then you're like, what is happening? Like, what is this world that we're living in? You know? What?
Why does it flip the script, man?
Yeah. What do you
finally get it down?
Yeah. Finally get things locked down here, you know? Yeah. It's pretty funny. But might be too spicy for YouTube. I don't know. It might be too much of a hot take for all the incels that watch this and leave whack ass comments for me. Which, by the way, let's do a quick comment review because this was hilarious. Where are comments now? I don't even know where.
You have to go digging for them.
Go to comments. Here we go. Let's turn that off. Let's turn that off. Do we have held? Oh no, I already deleted all the held. So this comment right here. Okay. Here, I'll put it on screen so you all can read it. And you guys can even just go find what video it's on. Here, I'll put it over there. It's on propagating aquarium stem plants over here.
Oh.
It says, I'm glad this era of boom music on every single video for absolutely no reason is coming to an end. Why wouldn't a video about aquarium plants feature classical music instead? This isn't a stupid person hobby, but random boom beats on every video are a stupid person vibe, right? Okay. So first off, like my first comment here, I didn't really want to type anything out because it was late, and I just kind of wanted to like basically tell him to fuck off. But first off here, why wouldn't a video about aquarium plants feature classical music instead? This isn't a stupid person hobby. Like this statement right here is the statement of a stupid person, right? Is that classical music is for smart people, right? Because it's classical music. Classical music is for smart people because it's classical music. Like, how fundamentally fucking uneducated do you have to be?
Right.
To just be like, oh, because there's an orchestra or whatever, an orchestra or an ensemble, that it's like, oh, that's smart people music, right? Smart people music is classical music. Like, come get the fuck out of here. First off, fundamentally idiotic.
I like the lisp.
And then you go, I'm glad this era of boom six music is over on every single video. Okay. First off, this video is from 6 years ago. Okay? Like, this video itself is 6 years old. So this era of whatever, you're glad it's coming to an end while commenting on a 6-year-old video. Right? And I can even verify that as we... Oh, no. I have to go to this video's comments because these are the other comments I've got going on. I could in a minute, but either way, this is a 6-year-old video. So to comment this way is fucking ridiculous. Right? Then, so I'm like, well, let me pop over to this guy's channel because I want to see like what kind of amazing content this guy
he's gonna
has put together. This is the type of content that this guy has put together.
Yeah.
Right? So this is from 4 days ago. This is a video that he posted.
Okay. Is this like Mensa study classes?
It's a beheading. It's him playing a video game and he just beheaded somebody. And then there's this video, right?
All right.
With this audio of just shrieking weird fucking shit, people screaming and fighting, and it's 10 seconds long. This is the content that he has posted up. So to verify, here you go. Here's this fucking guy. It's his channel, right? So let's go back. The fuck was I? Let's go back. So my comment was from someone that posts 10-second videos, basically shrieking into the mic. I'll leave the audio. I just leave the audio critiques alone. Quickly responded to me saying, "The actual F are you talking about? My first video from like 20 years ago? That's a joke between friends? Computer illiterate boy. I just showed you that video was posted 4 days ago." Which at the time I said, you posted videos 17 hours ago, you putz.
You putz.
And he says, of shrieking into the mic, are you high right now, bro? How does it feel to have relatives who died from the opiate epidemic? Trailer trash. Then he commented himself again, the fuck are you talking about, trailer park? Videos of a video game 17 hours ago. What the fuck are you talking about shrieking into the mic? Are you Xanaxed right now? Which, by the way, I don't even know where he came up with the fuck are you talking about trailer park. I'm like, you're the person who's talking about the trailer park shit. I haven't even commented. I haven't even replied here. He's replying to his own fucking comments, right? Like, somebody please explain to me, because this is the same guy this is essentially the same guy who was here last week that was like, oh, keep shrieking, blah, 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 you know, whatever he was saying.
Right, what's his face?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like, but this is the same fucking idiotic morons that are like, Trump's a hero, okay? Like, These are the fucking brain dead morons. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Am I supposed to help these people? You know, like, in what way? In what way am I supposed to help them? And like I said, a 6-year-old video, a video from 6 fucking years ago, which maybe we'll go look at it. Maybe we'll go see if it's any good. Hold on. We got to pause it. Hold on. We got to pause it. I own the rights. Oh, I guess we just have to do that. That's the green room. Oh, wait a minute. There's a different way to do this. Hold on. I'm going to try it.
So many ways.
What did I just... Yeah, here. Okay. We need... Let's remove this, and then we're going to go add source. I'm going to do this the right way. But the problem is that I have so many things to scroll down on.
Right.
Oh, here it is. Okay, there we go. Well, see, now it framed it all retarded.
There's no winning for losing.
There's no winning.
No winning. I like
no
Nick's
women.
game.
No women for losing. Okay, we're going to play it up here in the corner. It's my own content, so I better not get a copyright strike for myself. Okay, here we go. Okay, so there's the intro music.
Which I can't hear in the green room, but I'm sure the YouTube
last
can.
week I pulled a bunch of Pogostemon erectus out of the 150 and just uprooted it and was moving it around and replanted some of it. But I got a phone call, my baby wasn't feeling well and had to go get her from the daycare and didn't have a chance to replant it. Then, of course, over the weekend,
Okay, so it's basically just me talking about a bunch of shit.
Gets way more confusing when
And then,
the
like,
plant is doing this.
The music comes
by
up and
the
down
top.
depending on
You
what's
see there's
going
a
on.
bunch
It's not the greatest edit in the world. It's not even the greatest video in
And
the
it may
world.
actually even sprout out another side shoot from right here, which is very small, kind of impossible to see, but this actually will, end up being, 5 or 6 Pogostemon, and I could take those to the local club or something like that and share those off. So far, I've got a couple that are going to go in the sump. I got a couple that everything down
That
here
tank was awful pretty.
separated out, and we already trimmed off of that one, so we can
So
actually.
yeah, I mean, that's just
trim-
like fucking a beat in the background. And I will admit, the snare is pretty high comparatively to like what I would normally mix now, but it's also 6 years ago. And so, like, I mean, it's really like the people that I'm fucking dealing with here on the fucking internet, like, and, there's just like a certain point in time where you're like, oh, wow, hey, somebody just left a comment and it's one that didn't get like filtered out. It actually got forwarded to me. And so I'm like, oh, let me check on that. And that, like I said, it was the middle of the night. So I was just like chilling on the couch. I'm like, okay, let me respond to this. Let me see what it is. And like, it's hard to be discouraged, or it's hard to be encouraged to like do anything. Like, am I going to jump up and go and start editing a video in the middle of the night because like I'm super inspired by like, oh wow, look at this comment. It makes me really want to like go make free content for this jackwagon to fucking leave whack ass comments.
Right.
Like, and then get in an argument with a guy who starts arguing with himself about shit that he brought up. Like, why are you insulting me? It's a fucking trailer park. What the fuck are you talking about? And it's like, you're talking to yourself, you fucking maniac, Like, I don't know.
Right.
Meanwhile, I would wager $20 that Jagoff himself lives in a trailer park, was likely on drugs making those comments, likely had a family member die from the opiate situation, likely believes in Jesus, believes in MAGA, believes in all this fucking shit, probably thinks the earth is flat and birds aren't real and all this fucking dumb stuff.
And doesn't have a girlfriend.
Doesn't have a girlfriend. It's just sitting around fucking baiting in the basement of his trailer.
He's got a basement in his trailer. That's classy.
It's called a wastewater sump. Anyhow, love you guys. It's 4:00. I gotta go because I have to go to I was gonna say swim practice, but it's not. It's swim class for my daughter. So
Not drowning class.
not drowning class, training, swimming training. Yeah. All right, let's go.